if I can answer the question, what is Wing Chun in one word, I would use center. That's it, center. Wing Chun is all about the center. If I could describe it in one sentence, I might say it's the process of seeking the center, or finding the center, discovering the center. Right? How we do that? Via our 3 hand forms, via our partner exercises, refinement tools such as the wooden dummy, which gives us feedback, as well as the wooden pole and the knives. But at the end of the day, it's all going back to this one concept, and all of the concepts build off of that one thing. Okay? So if you're doing something, whether it be tan or fuk or bong, without your center, leaving your center, or not understanding your center, then you are wrong from the get-go. Okay? Even if the shape looks good, even if you can be effective with it, you are not expressing the core idea of Wing Chun. Okay? Now the concept of center we can then further divide. So center can be a point, or center can be a line. When we say point, it's this specifically. Okay? Sometimes I talk about having 3 centers, but generally speaking in Wing Chun, when we talk about the center, we're talking about this one. Okay? It's the core of your body, your center of mass. You can even go so far as to say it's your dantian, but it's not necessary to explain what we do, to talk about qigong or dantian. It's not necessary, though you might have some feeling of it as you get more sensitive. The next way to understand center is as a line. So we have the center line, and most people who don't know about Wing Chun, or maybe people who have a little bit of experience with Wing Chun, they might understand the center line as being kind of what differentiates Wing Chun from a lot of other styles, right? Although some styles talk about it, probably not as much or in depth as Wing Chun tends to talk about it. A center line is an axis which runs through the center of the body. So this is a center line, an axis which runs through. Our arms and our legs also have center lines. So I can move along the center line of this and this. I can align them and I can move along it. Right? Same thing here. I can, like a hinge, I can hinge and move along the center line. Okay? So understanding what is the center, what is the center point, and what is the center line is absolutely crucial to understanding the right way to go about your practice in Wing Chun. The definition of a point is something that doesn't move. Okay? We can also use the word fulcrum. It means it has equal pressure on all sides so that it has no inclination. It has no preference to move left, right, forward, back, up, or down. It stays where it is. Any inclinations in Wing Chun mean you are not with your center, means you are not centered. So if I have an inclination moving forward this way, I've left my center. Or if I have an inclination this way, I've left my center. Okay? Now, it is possible to carry your center with you in movement, but it has to be trained. It has to be trained. So as much as you can, as much as possible, be vertical when you move. Be vertical, okay? There are going to be some exceptions, some situations, but that's generally what you're aiming for, okay? So to that point, okay, a center line. If we look at the arms, we just cut off the arm, okay? When you're doing tan sao or any other hand, the punch, okay, you have to be moving with that line which runs through the center of your arms, okay? So you have a line that runs through the center of this and the center of this, as if it's a tube and you've got a laser going right through the middle of it. So if my energy is going this way, I'm not moving with that laser. If my energy is going this way, I'm not moving with that laser. In order to create the feeling of having a center line in my arm, I have to adjust my joints to certain angles to where I feel a connection. And then I carry that connection out my hand. And then further, I connect that line to this line, to the floor, etc. But that's the basic idea. So if you're doing, for example, in the Sheung, the first movement of the Tansa, when you're coming out, if you are pressing forward with your upper arm or your chest, you're not with the center line. If you're pressing down, you're not with the center line. If you're pressing up, you're not with the center line. You have to open the joint and settle in a way that you connect shoulder blade to elbow and connect in a way where the elbow goes to the wrist and the hand is as loose as you can get it. Any inclination to squeeze forward will distort your body by putting unnecessary tension on the pecs or on the bicep. Or even if you can keep this relaxed or your chest is dropped like this, well, then you've lost connection at the shoulder with the spine. Okay? So as far as your practice goes, and especially in Sheung, when you're here, you're always looking to stay with that center, meaning that this point never moves and that the lines stay aligned. So every movement that you do, if I'm doing this, there's no line in my arm. If I'm doing this, there's no line in my arm. I'm finding the line and I'm connecting it and I'm keeping it. So when I rotate, I don't do this kind of thing. I keep my line, I keep my connection here. I keep my connection. And then as I come back, I don't collapse that connection, I keep that connection. So even as your angle changes, you're finding ways to adjust so that you can keep those lines together. It's very similar to doing this. If you imagine this is my forearm, this part here, and this is my upper arm. And we can continue this chain all the way down to the ground, but we're just isolating from here, okay? But the same thing applies all the way from your feet. The line or the stick that's behind is propelling the one that's forward. So this one is not moving of its own volition. It's being moved by this one. So as this comes forward, it moves this forward. If that one's going to change, say you have an angle like this. Okay, say my arm is at an angle. Okay? Obviously, this move won't work anymore because then that won't go forward. So if I'm going to propel this forward, I have to adjust my angle in a way where I can line them up. You see? So it's all about this. The center point here is a fulcrum which never moves. It's a fixed point, equal pressure in all directions. And the center line is a pathway for which your energy moves. That's how I define the center. And that is the primary activity which you should be doing in your Sheung. The result of that practice is a kind of mindfulness which arises, the ability to observe inside. As you focus inward, as your mind turns inward, you start to have a better effect externally on the outside. But if your mind is focused too much on what the other person is doing, okay, then you are actually resisting and you are not understanding the processes that